Hello out there. First of all, thank you for subscribing to my channel, and thank you very much for your kind and fine comments. Someone have asked me for a video showing how I build an Indian, how I make the parts, but it will take too long time, I think. Therefore, I have decided to make a video or some videos of how I assemble an Indian. In this case, it is an A-frame 12 cubic centimeter diesel engine. I have built an engine like this before, but it's a bit different this, and I will show you later. I have painted all the parts, as you can see, and it's a green color. It's called racing green, and I have uncovered some of the bright spots, uncovered the painting tape, except for two items, the fuel tank and the water cooling tank. I have already put my badge on the base, as you can see. The paint I use on the Indians nowadays, at least, is a two-component acrylic lac or paint, and it's a good paint because it's resistant to heat and oil and fuel and so on. I have also made the wood plate for the Indian to be mounted on, and it is mahogany. Mahogany is a bit difficult to paint because of all the thousands small natural holes in it. It is painted with the same type of paint, two-component acrylic lacquer. To get a good finish, you have to paint at least 6 coats, in my opinion. First 2 coats, and then use sandpaper, 2 coats again, sandpaper, and then 2 final coats. A little look at the Indian parts before the assembly. The first step is bolting the base to the wood plate. I will, during this assembly procedure, try to explain a bit of how I construct and make the parts. For example, the base is not made in a foundry, but is constructed of several parts. In this case, it's a bottom part, the top part, and 4 side parts. The parts are cut out and welded together, and then the welding seams are grinded, and then a bit of filler applied, and then grinded again, and then 2 good coats of primer, and then again a bit of grinding with sandpaper, and then finally 2 coats of the final paint, the green one. Next step, mounting of the crankshaft and its main bearings. 2 mm guiding pins are made for the main bearing. The crankshaft for the Indian is made of 1 solid piece of steel. I do not know the English word for the steel, but in Danish it's called nature hard. A diesel engine I found this size has to have a good lubrication for the big end. Therefore I have drilled some holes in the crankshaft, one starting at this point and drilled to about here. The next hole drill from the big end journal in this direction to about here, and the last hole drilled from the journal and in this direction, which means that oil from the main bearing has the ability to get out and lubricate the big end. On this crankshaft I have furthermore added an oil slinger ring. I do not know if it's the right word, and this ring has a groove, as you perhaps can see, and it has a hole that's correspondent with the hole drilled in the side of the crankshaft. At this end of the journal we have the gear wheel for the side shaft, and on the other end have a flange for the flywheel. It's silver soldered to the journal. I have tried some other way to secure the flywheel on the crankshaft, but I found that this is the very best way. The crankshaft at home, so the next thing to mount is the connecting rod and the piston. The connecting rod, the big end and the small end. The small end is split at this point with a bolt to secure the piston pin. The diameter of the connecting rod is 6 mm. This is the connecting rod from the first diesel engine I built, and it's 5 mm, but for some reason it got bended, so I had to make a new one in 6 mm. The piston is made from a solid piece of steel. It has two bronze bushes for the piston pin, and it has a groove, I don't know if it's visible, I think so, with sharp edge at this point and a soft edge at this point. It's meant to pick up as much oil as possible. And at the top there's 4 piston rings. The piston pin is made from the end of a high-speed drill. It is 6.5 mm. I'm about to tighten the bolts for the big end. Seems fine. So now it's time to mount the A-frame. Careful with the piston rings. The A-frame is, as well as a base, made of several parts welded together. For this job I have made a jack to hold the parts when welding, and after the welding procedure the jack goes to the lathe where I finish the flanges for true alignment. Next step is the cylinder. The cylinder, the piston and the piston rings are of course well oiled, so I'll put on my piston ring compressor and try to get the cylinder down. It seemed to go fine. Out with the piston ring compressor and down with the cylinder. And when it comes to the cylinder, it is also constructed by several parts. The liner for the piston, the cylinder flange, the sleeve for the water jacket, the two brackets for the camshaft and the two water pipe connections. And most of the parts are silver soldered together. I have mounted the side shaft. It has two functions: to spin the fly ball governor and to connect the crankshaft to the camshaft. The next step is to mount the camshaft with its gear wheel. It has three cams: the injection pump cam, the exhaust valve cam, the intake valve cam, the eccentric for the water pump, and the water pump plunger. The cams are, so to speak, free on the shaft, which means that I'm able to adjust the cam individual to the right timing. I will start with the intake valve cam, and then the injection pump cam, camshaft, the exhaust valve cam, a little spacer, water pump eccentric, a washer, and then a locking nut that will lock the two cam, intake cam and exhaust cam, and the water pump eccentric. The injection pump cam is locked by this set screw.